Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. The WWE Draft continues as Night 2 comes to Raw. What surprises can fans expect, and will the draft shake up the WWE's landscape? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 4th October edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including original draft plans for the New Day, the surprising number of superstars kept out of the draft, is WWE interested in Braun Strowman, and more. As always, Wrestlelamia won't recap the matches, but provide the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Wrestlers owning fans. Tonight's Charlotte Flair segment saw the Queen subdue some surly fans' chants by firing back. While it's good for wrestlers to get heat from the fans, there's no need for situations where the fans hijack a show and make a segment all about themselves. Flair has proven herself before as a solid talker, and her dismissal of dimwits dwelling in the audience was a good move. New teams on SmackDown. This year's draft has had its share of criticism, but one thing the WWE got right was sending some fresh teams to SmackDown. The Viking Raiders have been doing absolutely nothing on Raw despite the team being cleared for competition for some time. Anyone who has watched the Raiders know that the team is more than a power-based team. They also have some impressive mobility and double-team moves that make for entertaining matches. Then there's the new team of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, two talented performers who have been sidelined for too long and may have a shot at breaking out as a tag team. The best part of these two teams heading to SmackDown is that the Blue brand continues to be the stronger show in terms of creativity, and these two tandems could get the attention they need to grow into two interesting acts. The only thing the WWE needs to be wary of is making them into the Usos' latest jobbers to the stars. Sheamus on SmackDown. The Celtic Warrior is one of several superstars who has bounced back and forth between SmackDown and Raw, but even though Sheamus was only on the Red brand for a year, he did well, challenging Drew McIntyre in a well-received series and enjoying a strong reign as US Champion before dropping the belt to Damian Priest. While the case can be made that Sheamus could spend another year on Raw, there are plenty of fresh matchups on SmackDown, and he might even see himself positioned into the Universal title picture. A much-anticipated main event. Charlotte Flair vs. Bianca Belair, a main event in any arena, as the late great Gorilla Monsoon used to say, and a match that lived up to the hype. Belair and Flair worked well together, but not because one carried the other, but because they are both top workers. Their match suggested a clear chemistry between the two you don't always see, and the only bad thing about this was the match's failed finish. Raw really wins. Raw definitely came out on top this year with the draft, keeping a number of top stars such as Big E, RK Bro, AJ Styles and Omos, and Bobby Lashley, while also getting in fresh talent such as the Alpha Academy, Finn Balor, Austin Theory, and Carmella, just kidding about that last one. Throw in names like the Street Profits, the Mysterios, Edge, and Seth Rollins, and the Red brand has a number of interesting matchups. That's not to say that SmackDown got stuck with a bevy of B-listers. In fact, as mentioned earlier, stars heading to the Blue brand may fare better creatively. Nonetheless, the USA Network has to be happy with the draft results, and Fox shouldn't be upset with its picks either. The real question for Raw is how the WWE ends up using its draft picks. The bad. Main event mess. Tonight's promising main event between Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair had fans ready to see the Queen against arguably the hottest act in the women's division right now, Bianca Belair. Unfortunately, fans got a predictable disqualification finish thanks to outside interference from Becky Lynch. With Belair now on Raw, would it have hurt WWE to give her a pinfall win over the Queen, who is now on SmackDown? The WWE has shown it's not afraid to do conclusive main event finishes on Raw, as seen with last week's cage match and the previous week's Roman Reigns vs. Bobby Lashley bout. So why couldn't they put Belair over tonight with a big win over Flair? It would have been a great way to hype the EST for the show. Another missed opportunity. Night 2 of the draft was another failure in terms of bringing back lapsed fans. The WWE Draft is supposed to be an event episode of Raw and SmackDown, much like Legends Nights, anniversary shows, and tribute shows. These shows often pop a rating, which is why they're a great opportunity to bring back lapsed fans by showing them the WWE is still fun to watch. Regrettably, Raw was largely filler, with meaningless matches other than the main event, and nothing to get the fans excited about. While the WWE succeeded in setting up some matches for Crown Jewel, it gave fans nothing to be excited about as far as weekly TV goes. Jeff Hardy vs. Damian Priest Part 203. Jeff Hardy and Damian Priest have had some great matches, but did the WWE really need to air yet another one? As just mentioned, the WWE missed the bus by making tonight's Raw a filler show, and booking a match fans have seen numerous times didn't help the situation. With Jeff moving over to SmackDown, why not have him wrestle a Blue Brand star who's coming to Raw, giving fans a chance to see something fresh? The influx of new stars isn't going to have any lasting success as long as the WWE continues with its lazy booking. Hurting the Hurt Business. Why do you have to hurt the Hurt Business, WWE? Fans went wild last week when Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin reunited with Bobby Lashley, but watching the two job out to the New Day on their first match together in some time leaves little hope that the WWE is going to do much with the pair. It's almost as if WWE is starting to revert back to its old ways of ignoring fan favorites and doing things on the fly. The Downright Ugly. What women's tag division? Tonight's Raw rematch between former women's tag team champions Tamina and Natalya against current champions Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley not only epitomized the division's baneful booking, but served as a harbinger for its seeming destruction following the draft. One would have to have quite the imagination to believe the former champs deserve a rematch, while Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart, who defeated the former champions in non-title matches several times, never received any title shots. However, that's just the tip of the iceberg that was waiting for the women's tag division. The WWE Women's Tag Division is now in shambles following tonight's draft and supplemental draft. The WWE split up Tamina and Natalya, as well as Blackheart and Nox, leaving WWE with one official women's tag team, Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley. As WrestleTalk's Andy Dotson suggested, WWE always has the option of pairing Liv Morgan and Dana Brooke again, but fans are more likely to see WWE do what it does whenever it needs a tag team, pair two strangers together, and hope for the best. Tonight's Raw provided some excitement with the draft, but otherwise, it was a largely listless show. The last 2 weeks of Raw had been solid, so it's scary to think those were flukes rather than a concerted effort to remedy the red roster. News. Does the WWE want Braun Strowman back? Topping today's news is a wild story concerning Adam Scherr, aka former WWE superstar Braun Strowman. Is the WWE interested in bringing Braun Strowman back? That's a wild rumor that suddenly popped up despite recent reports that he's headed to Impact Wrestling. A recent report from Ringside News suggests the rumors are unfounded. In fact, the news site reports, Ringside News asked around about the rumor concerning Braun Strowman's possible WWE return. We were told by a tenured member of the team that if WWE made any offer to Braun Strowman, he would be back in the fold immediately. Obviously, that has not happened. We were additionally told that there has been no offer and there is no interest. Braun Strowman is likely to get some serious cash if and when he does sign with Impact, and while he may be a big fish in a small pond, there's little doubt he'll be pushed as a main eventer. 2021 WWE Draft Night 2 results. In case you missed it, here are the results from Night 2 of the 2021 WWE Draft. Round 1 saw SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch drafted to Raw. Round 2 saw Seth Rollins go to Raw and Sheamus heading to SmackDown. Round 3 saw Shayna Baszler heading to SmackDown, Kevin Owens moving to Raw, and Xia Li heading to SmackDown. Round 4 saw the Street Profits move to Raw, the Viking Raiders to SmackDown, Finn Balor to Raw, and Ricochet to SmackDown. Round 5 saw Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza heading to SmackDown, and Cesaro staying on SmackDown. Round 6 saw Carmella move to Raw, Ridge Holland from NXT move to SmackDown, Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson heading to Raw, Sami Zayn staying on SmackDown. And the supplemental draft on Raw Talk saw Raw get Dana Brooke, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Jackson Riker, Veer, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, Tamina, Tegan Nox, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, and The Miz, while SmackDown picked up Jinder Mahal and Shanky, Natalya, and Shotzi. Original plans for New Day at the draft. Reports are coming in that the WWE wanted to tease fans with the possibility the New Day would be reunited on Raw. PW Insider reports that the WWE originally planned on drafting Bobby Lashley in their first-round pick, creating the possibility that Big E could be drafted to SmackDown, where New Day teammates Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston headed on night 1 of the draft. The WWE seems determined to maximize the New Day's reach by having them on 2 brands. What do you think? Should WWE have kept the New Day on 1 brand? Let us know in the comments below. Surprising slew of superstars kept off draft. Last but not least, the WWE Draft had a surprising number of wrestlers excluded from the draft, with Wrestling News' Paul Davis noting the following absences: Lacey Evans, Eva Marie, Bayley, Asuka, Lindsay Dorado, Gran Metalik, Slapjack, and Elias. Elias has been missing in action since the WWE began running vignettes teasing a character change for him. As for Lacey Evans, she's currently out on maternity leave, while Bayley and Asuka are out with injuries. Dorado and Metalik of the Lucha House Party have expressed their growing concerns with how they're booked, so this could be a sign WWE is getting ready to release them or shoot them into the WWE Phantom Zone. Well guys, there you have it, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the 4th October edition of Raw. What did you think of the show and the draft picks? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.